The Democrats want to treat the illegals with health care and with other things better than they treat the citizens of our country. If you look at a coal miner that has black lung disease, you're talking about people that get treated better than the coal miner. Congress and the Democrats have to step forward to provide humane solutions to put child smugglers out of business. You have child smugglers by the hundreds and actually probably by the thousands. And they're becoming very rich because our laws are so bad.
Now, while President Trump urges Democrats to work on real solutions to solve our border crisis, the radical 2020 candidates continue to push a dangerous open borders agenda that includes decriminalizing border crossings and even health care for illegal aliens. Take a look.
I know you reject the rhetoric about open borders, but isn't that effectively open borders not limiting our immigration in any real way?
There's no way that we can call that open borders because we have 654 miles of fencing. We have thousands of personnel at the border. We have planes. We have helicopters, boats, security cameras, guns. So open borders is just a right-wing talking point. It always has been.
One question to many of your colleagues and competitors was whether their health care plan would cover undocumented immigrants. Would your plan do that?
As part of comprehensive immigration reform, we must move forward on making sure that people have health care.
So that was a yes, that your health care plan would cover that?
That was a yes for immediate health care needs. But as far as other benefits, I think that has got to be a part of the discussion of comprehensive immigration reform.
Now, Robert Beto O'Rourke took it a step further, claiming that Central Americans have no choice but to come here because of climate change. Have a look.
Compounded by drought that was caused not by God, not by Mother Nature, but by us. Man-made climate change, our emissions, our excesses, our inaction in the face of the facts and the science. When it is that deadly, and when you're unable to grow your own food to feed yourself, you have no choice but to come here.
Joining me now for reaction are Fox News contributors Tammy Bruce and Ari Fleischer, along with American Conservative Union Chairman Matt Schlapp. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Ari, I want to start with you because the projection that the Democrats are putting out there. Now, granted, they're going after Democratic voters right now, but the message that they're sending out to America about what's really important, how do you see that?
They are planting the seeds of destruction for their party in the general election because they're going so far in this primary. Look, somebody said this morning, I wish I could remember who it was to credit them, that if you cheat trying to get into college, you go to jail. But if you cheat trying to get into America, you get free college. I mean, this is where we are going as a country. We are doing fundamentally, the Democrats are espousing fundamentally wrong things because the thing that matters to them most is the appeal of ethnic politics, the appeal of racial politics. And it's identity. It's racial identity that divides instead of unites, and therefore they parcel it out. It's the wrong thing for them in general.
Tammy, you've been watching this for a long time. What's your read on what's happening?
Well, I think that certainly it's not going to play well. Again, we're dealing with the primary, but this is going not just to every American, but it's also going around the world. They're proposing something that on its face would collapse the system. And the individuals coming here now are looking for, and where they've coming from, generally systems aren't delivering. And what they're proposing is to have these individuals then come to another system that won't deliver. Not just for the individuals who are trying to migrate here, but for Americans in general. Medicaid and Medi-Cal in California, you can't get an appointment now. What happens if 1 million more people are trying to get the same block of appointments? There are no additional doctors coming up to add in to make up for the difference. So we're effectively abandoning those people. The Democrats are appealing to these individuals, effectively asking them, saying, come here, especially if they are ill. And then they're going to get here, and the system itself that they're going to rely on won't be able to handle them. So when the Democrats talk about, as Beto O'Rourke did on his little venture across the border, that it should awake the consciousness of the American people, that we've got to become better, while he's then recommending that people come here and destroy the system effectively with his own policies, abandoning everyone in the process.
Matt, one of my favorite people on the planet is Rob O'Neill from SEAL Team 6.
Right.
And he sent out a tweet, and I'm just giving a synopsis of it, but he basically said, I think you misspelled homeless veteran. He didn't.
Right.
They didn't. There's no talk from them about veterans and our military and Americans who are doing it right. They're doing everything they can, the Democrats, to put out a projection that we're going to fight for you that are here illegally. How do you see it?
Well, the first step is when AOC goes to the border and screams at and has a tirade to law enforcement officials who are trying to bring some modicum of order to the border, shows you what they really think about law enforcement. Nobody in the Democratic Party has criticized AOC for the way she treated federal employees who are law enforcement officials. That's the first point. The second point that Rob makes, Jason, that you're underscoring is that Americans are hurting. Millions of Americans lost their plan and lost their doctors because of Obamacare. Obamacare insurance premiums are too expensive for many middle-class Americans, so they can't afford to buy insurance. How does a guy or a woman in her late 50s, early 60s, getting ready to retire, they had middle-class wages, then they have to read that they're going to have Medicare for all, which they thought just meant all Americans, which was bad enough for people who are able-bodied. Now it's for anyone, literally anybody who can get here from Central America, from Mexico, from South America, you get to get their Medicare benefits. This is insanity. I agree with Ari. They're sowing the seeds of their own demise in the general election.
Now, Ari, one of the tragic things that happened, I thought, during the Obama administration is there were 80,000 times that somebody was here illegally, got caught committing a crime, convicted of that crime, and they didn't deport them. And so they stayed in the United States, many of which went on to commit more crimes. How in the world can the Democrats, with a straight face, say they care about law enforcement and law and order going into 2020?
The Democrats have given up something that's part and parcel what makes us a great country. And that's the moral distinction of being able to say, we welcome legal immigrants, we don't welcome illegal. To the Democrats are all one and the same. There is no behavior when it comes to immigration that makes you legal or illegal. It's all one and should all be welcome.
Right.
I want immigrants to come to this country. We're the greatest country on earth. Immigrants make us better. They make us a richer country. My mother's an immigrant. But you have to come here legally. You cannot come here illegally.
We have just a moment, but I want to get Tammy and Matt
just a reminder that when AOC or others talk about getting rid of ICE and wanting to cut money for ICE, internal enforcement, it is the Hispanic community that is affected first. These criminals live in those communities.
Yeah.
So it is both legal and illegal. It's the Hispanic community and neighborhoods that they are condemning to live with. MS-13, other individuals who are convicted of crimes, never deported. That's where they're living. So I'm not quite sure how they can say that they speak and represent Hispanics and the best life for Hispanics when their main focus will maintain criminality and terror, effectively, gang terror in those very communities.
And Matt, real quickly, it does seem like President Trump's rising in terms of popularity in the Hispanic community.
Yeah, because basically Americans are very practical people. When they see their incomes going up, when they see their economic opportunity increasing, and when they see this really scary, radicalized Democratic Party, where poll after poll shows 50% of Democrats are embracing the term socialism, as Tammy said, a lot of these Hispanic Americans left socialism. They left communism.
Exactly.
They left dictatorships. It didn't work out. They know socialism fails each and every time, and it'll fail in America. That's why we got to prevent it from ever getting implemented.
Thank you, all three of you. Tammy, Ari, and Matt, we appreciate it.